We have to take the 27th? Okay. Yes. Sorry, man. Cowboys lost. I'm just teasing him because he's a cowboy fan. Oh, okay. Repeat the 27th sloka. सर्वाणीन्द्रियकर्माणि प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते. We had done this last week, right? I'm looking at confirmations because I remember having said it. Doing every action and every interaction consciously. Okay. Now the 28th shloka. Dravya yajnastapo yajnaha yoga yajnastatha pare Swadhyaya jnana yajnascha yataya samshitavrataha. Before I continue, because I see many of you holding your books and doing this, is it too hot? Are you all okay? Good. Little bit. You feel that buttery smell because in the second session end they had popcorn, so you smell that all over the place. Okay, dravya yajnaha, tapo yajnaha, yoga yajnaha, swadhyaya yajna and jnana yajna. A lot of yajnas, different kinds of it, all covered in this shloka. The first one, dravya yajna. Typically, the translation you will find the various sacrifices that are offered into the havan, that is called dravya. And being conscious as what is offered, when they are offered, with what mantra it is offered, that is called dravya yajna. Now, the other meaning of it, which can be applied in our day-to-day life, is dravya means material. Material wherein we consciously apply ourselves as to how much we use sattvic material with sattvic mindset and how much we use making it a sattvic effort. Now, what do I mean by it? Now it has become a fad to talk about recycling, right? Yes, no. So recycling is a big thing. Before recycling, there is one more step. And what is that one more step? Reusing. Before you recycle, reuse. Before reusing, there's another step. Conscious use, wherein I have heard and I have seen that people buy stuff not because it is necessary, but because it is on sale. What will you do with it? Kuch to karenge, Swamiji. We'll do something. Oh, what? We'll figure it out. You mean to say at this point you really don't need it? No. But it was an awesome deal. I couldn't let it go. Therefore, I purchased it. See, in this country, the mindset that we have adapted ourselves into is that if at all we suffer, it is not because of lack of things, but it is of over availability and indulgence of things. Isn't it? Those happy days wherein I remember immediately after the Asiad Games. How many of you remember those Asiad Games in India? What was the Appu? The symbol was Appu. And that is when we had influx of new TVs coming in. And maybe in the entire street or the entire building, there would be one house which had a TV. And every evening we would gather in, flock in together. And it was like a daily potluck. Members from different houses bring in all the stuff, and children, we had fun. Why? We had only one TV for the entire building. Remember the days when the entire building had only one phone in somebody's house, and you would call in from your college or you would call in from somewhere and say, I'll call back in another 2 minutes or 5 minutes, ask them to be ready. You remember those days? The entire block, there was only one phone, and you could survive in it. Probably those days, calling from US was what, $3, $2? You managed in that. And today, how many TVs per average home? Minimum 2. Average can be 3 or 4. And then if you have a media room, you should include that also, right? There's no TV there, but there is a media projector. Dolby, DLP, I don't know what all brands. And how many phones? How many laptops? How many tablets? There were days when tablet meant a medicine to be taken. There were days when chips meant something edible. And coming to Dallas, somebody defined, how would you define Dallas? They said we make 2 kinds of chips. One is edible ones, Frito-Lays, and the other one, TI. So both makes chips. So chips also has got a different meaning. How many tablets? Plenty. Laptops are plenty, tablets are plenty, cell phones are plenty. Music players? Okay, MP3 players, plenty. And the list goes on and on and on. So what is Dravya Yajna? The ability to do least harm to Mother Nature and to use and sustain in bare minimum requirements. Whatever little, to be healthily utilizing it in an optimal level. Dravya Yajna. That is one aspect of it. Ecological conservation. Then comes the concept of reusing it. I'm sure in the last 1 week you have done your grocery shopping. Have you? Right. Have you observed a new trend? Yeah, I know. We are all in Dallas only, right? Oh, Plano doesn't have it? Not yet. Okay, it will soon. soon it will pick up there also. Every plastic or paper bag that you get, it's 5 cents. Oh, 5 to 25. I have only seen. So that is 25. Okay. There were days wherein there was a thaila, and you would go with that and everything in that, and for a week together or 2 weeks together you use it. Then you'll start seeing stains all over. Then wash it and then dry it and then reuse it again. So we go through this cycle wherein we get through this abundance and losing track of why we do what we do is not even thought into. Convenience takes over. Dravya yajna. And various aspects of life wherein when we interact with this material, because we are not living in a isolated environment or on an island and not in a vacuum, all the material that we interact it with a sattvic environment and a sattvic attitude. Meaning what? Say for example, whatever is procured, make sure that it is procured in the most morally, ethically, value-based sound system. Nothing immorally or not value-based, nothing of such sort of material invoked or taken. Which means all the unnecessary aggrandization or taking somebody else's in different methods or different means, never to do that. Another aspect of Dravya Yajna would be that the material that you are using, be conscious as to what kind of material is being used. Make that material and the attitude with which you are using it as a sattvic attitude. Like for example, food that you eat, make it sattvic. I've been insisting on this in various other aspects as well. So what is tamasic food? Can you give me an example? Leftover stale food is one example. Meaning all the freezer section, all this little it is left, it is that Ziploc boxes, and then label it, date it. That is one tamasic food. What are other tamasic foods? Grapes are healthy. Rotten grapes are not healthy. That is called tamasic food. Barley is healthy. Rotten barley is tamasic. So everybody understands what rotten barley means. Fresh cooked rice is healthy. Rotten rice, हाँ जी, दूर कहाँ मतलब? No, I am talking of sake. He is like, sake is, but how do you know? So all these rotten stuff are also called tamasic food. Now what is rajasic food? Spicy is one aspect of it. Tiksha ruksha vidahinaha. That while you are eating and after you eat, leaves you teary-eyed. While you are eating, so So the nose beads, you will find all the sweat beads form, and then the forehead has, and you're sweating in through. अब मजा आ रहा है. After you eat, then you have from here to here, there is a reflex. Who asked you to eat? For क्या? It was so good. All such foods which appear tasty but give you pain while eating and after eating. Such ones are in the Rajasic food. Tikshna, Ati Tikshna, very spicy, very pungent, very dry. All such foods can be put under the category of Rajasic food. What is Sattvic food? The Sattvic food are the fresh produce. When I say fresh, I have to make it every time very clear that it is not fresh from the freezer or fresh from the can. So I was at a restaurant and they said gulab jamun fresh and in a very tiny letters from the can. No, those are not called Sattvic. Frozen section, vegetables and fruits, they are also not Sattvic. When we say Sattvic, they should have the prana shakti in it. Every material has got some shakti. And the highest form of shakti is called the prana shakti. Now the frozen food, I don't know if I have asked you to do this experiment. I don't know if you have done it or not. Take 3 carrots. Have I told you this experiment? No, okay. Take 3 carrots. 1, leave it outside on the counter. 1, put it in the refrigerated section. And the third one, you put it in the freezer section. That which is left outside, you will start seeing that it starts sprouting those white little roots pretty quickly. Because of unsustainable environment outside, it starts drying after that immediately too, quickly. That which is in the refrigerated section starts that process little delayed. But that which is in the frozen section, what happens to that? Does it sprout? That is experiment enough a proof saying that the prana shakti has been gone long ago. And what we are eating is only the matter and not consuming the sattvic aspect of it, which is the prana shakti. So frozen, so be aware. Tinned, be aware, it is not sattvic. It is convenient, but not sattvic. It is easy, but not sattvic. Now, what do we have to eat, Swamiji? You have just tracked everything. So, fresh produce, fresh fruits, preferably fresh seasonal fruits, fresh nuts, edible ones. My breakfast is very simple and easy to remember. Every day I eat bananas and nuts. So I go bananas and nuts. So fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, fresh nuts, and the milk, curd and ghee. These are in, and the, what do you call those, pulses. Pulses को क्या बोलते हैं यहाँ पे? हाँ, the lentils, which can also be sprouted. So the lentils. So the lentils and the grains and the fresh produce, vegetables, yogurt, milk and ghee, and nuts. So this is the sattvic diet. Dravya yajna, being conscious as to what we eat, where we interact, how we interact, what kind of material that we interact with. Because every interaction is an input into the system, and any input that you see is creating internal disturbances. Why would you unnecessarily intake all these? And create long-term restlessness and sickness and illness. Dravya yajna. Then tapo yajna. Tapo yajna, different kinds of tapas as yajna. What are the different kinds of tapas? Kayika, vachika, manasika tapas. Kayika, kayika, that which is at the physical level. Each one in our own patterns of existence, we know at physical level where we are complacent, don't we? Some have sleeping issues, meaning they oversleep. Some have sleeping issues, meaning they can't sleep. Some have, after a certain age, the y-axis stops and the x-axis starts. Growth still continues. Funny would be the day when x equals y. You will be a complete personality, round personality. I mean, I have a caricature mind. So somebody who is round, I visualize that for them walking should not be difficult. Why? They just roll. हाँ जी, हाँ, यही मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं था. Or we can make use of them in the bowling alleys. लुढ़का दो वहां पे. Always? No, the sizes of the pins also have to change accordingly. हाँ, वही कह रहा था मैं बस. उनको लुढ़काना आसान होता है. So at physical level, tapas meaning something that can keep this body in good shape and form so that the other activities can be executed through this body without the body failing in between, to keep it healthy and strong. And one of the complaints that the doctors and others usually talk about Indian community, that we seldom focus on that aspect because we seldom do exercises. I saw after the winter break, I saw this gentleman. Wait, in 20 days you're like samosa. You're like really swelled up. What happened? And then very proudly he puts his hand and he says, "Swamiji, bada dil laga ke badaya hu. I have grown into this with lot of effort. Now suddenly don't ask me to reduce." And these are unhealthy patterns. So at a physical level, tapas. Physical level tapas, wherein the idea is to bring health and its longevity so that through the body we can do good to everybody around. Kayika tapas. Vachika tapas. Vachika tapas at the speech level. There are various ways that can be explained. One is what we speak. How do we speak? Not Tulsi Das ji. Kabir Das ji puts it very beautifully. He says, "ऐसी बाणी बोलिए जो मन का आपा खोए." औरन को शीतल करे, आपहु शीतल होय. First of all, don't speak. Not necessary. This is my addition, okay? Into Kabir Dasji's Doha. First of all, don't speak. Not necessary. Shut up. Seriously, there's not necessity. If at all you need to speak, speak such language and words wherein you are at peace and those who listen to it also acquire that peace. They also find that soothing environment inside. Otherwise, there are these curt, very caustic personalities. They just blurt out anything and everything that, and then they claim to be very straightforward people. Whatever comes here, I don't keep anything inside, I just say it. Put a filter. We don't need your garbage. Filter it out in such a way that the other person also feels, you may be scolding them, but then they feel that, there is still a scope for you to save your face and do better next time. Another way to explain it, in Mahabharata it is said, there are a couple of things that we need to remember before we speak. First, when to speak. Is it our turn, responsibility, or opportunity to speak so? When to speak? If it is not, you don't need to butt in saying that if I were you, you're not. Shut up. But if I were you, tum nahi ho, please keep quiet. It is not your turn and opportunity or place and time to say so. Just keep quiet. When to speak. And then once you start speaking, what to speak. Otherwise, people we find they beat around the bush and never come to the point. So what was I saying? And they keep going on and on and on. Your point pe aa. You keep going round and round and round. Did you know what did the sharpener tell the pencil? Stop going round and round and round. Come to the point. Similarly, when to speak, what to speak, and then how to speak. How do you say it? And there is no one method for it. Each situation and each interaction with each individual differs. Sometimes you have to say it with over excessive indulging, sugar coated, honey coated, maple syrup coated, all in one. And sometimes that effort doesn't work. You have to say it as is and as blunt as it can be. Sometimes you just have to indicate what you are trying to say and let them figure out what it has to mean. Beyond which you don't need to suggest. Sometimes you have to say, but you have to say it in such a way that you have your disclaimer put in. You may try it, but has this, I have heard it, but you try it on your own. But you cannot be overcautious in every environment. You cannot be over callous in every environment. Or over jovial in every environment. Somebody has lost a dear one, near one. There you cannot go poke fun. And if there is some kind of a fun event and there is, marriage and what do you call that? 2-3 steps before that. Reception तो बाद में होता है मैडम. Oh. हाँ, हल्दी, कुमकुम. Haldi, Mehendi, Sangeet. It's a fun environment. And in that environment, you cannot be like, why? All these kinds of waste of time. It's fun. Just relax, go speak and be fun. When to speak, what to speak, how to speak. When not to speak. Because what has been observed, my own personal experience as well, you beat somebody, they will forget it very soon. You say something harsh, it hurts more than a physical abuse. Don't need to say such words that you have to carry the regrets of it for next lifetime. And most important, when to conclude, when to stop. Have you observed people when they start speaking, they've already made that statement, they've already made what they have to say, but they just cannot stop. 5 times over, 6 times over, मैं क्या बता रहा था? He looks very inspired. And the one who is listening is perspiring. If you're done, you've made your statement, be conscious as to what you're doing. And add to that the next layer of understanding. It's still the Vachika tapas at the speech level. Running this big an institution, I get to hear lots of information. But when people come in their excitement or whatever care and interest, Swamiji, pata hai kya hua? I said, stop. Answer the following 3 questions. If you pass the first 3 questions, then you may share what you have to share. First, by listening to what you're going to say, is it going to be beneficial to me? Pata nahi, maine just suna hai. I don't know if it will benefit you or not. Okay. Second, does it benefit you personally? Okay, leave my benefit aside. At least it should benefit you. Probably not. At least is it truthful? I don't know. Zip it up. I don't need to listen to such. Because most of our interaction, if you evaluate, we carry so much of unnecessary somebody else's trash. Everybody's trash cans are outside, right? Imagine, visualize somebody who goes through others' trash, gathers things, and then goes to somebody else's house, opens it and starts distributing it. How yucky is it? You get the point? It is neither beneficial to you, nor beneficial to me, nor it is truthful, and it is trash. Why do you want to dump your trash and somebody else's that you are carrying in my door? I already have enough that I have to clean up. I don't need an add-on. If any add-ons have to be added in, it has to be meaningful. Why do I need it? Therefore, the Sanskrita Shubhashita says, Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. Speak truth alone. And speak the truth in such a way that it does not cut the other person's heart into two, but speak it in such a beautiful way that they feel pleasant while listening to it. Priyam bruyat. What if ma bruyat? If you cannot, don't say it. Stop right there. But it almost feels like a inbuilt pressure. equivalent to as the pressure of using a restroom. रोक नहीं सकते. Similarly, is this, they just cannot stop. They have to. So you get the picture, right? Vachika tapas, kaika tapas, manasika tapas. What is manasika tapas? To not allow our mind to be restless or turbulent. The ability to snap out of events at will. There will be various instances that are experiences that we have to go through. Some will take us up, some will drop us down. But whatever be it, your shock absorbers in your life inside should be so strong that you bounce back on your feet and snap out of that impact quickly. Yes, there will be things that will hit you hard or elate you, and suddenly there will be like, you'll be dropped down. Whatever be the situations, up or down, to maintain that mind in a peaceful environment. Good question. Like, it's a courtesy in this country. So I was going through the TSA, and for the first time in my 13 years, after I was coming back, and I was randomly picked. And this time my randomly picked, usually it is for a complete scan and pad and bag, luggage, everything opened up, checked. That is usually what has happened last 13 years. But it was very unusual. I was randomly picked for the, what do you call that? Pre-TSA or TSA pre-check. And it was randomly put in there, and there was nothing to be removed. And that day it was justified when the TSA officer there said, "Have a good day." I said, "Yes, today I will." But then there was a mischief masti in my head. So I turned around and I asked him the same question. "But how?" He was like, "What?" You say, "Have a good day," and you also say, "Have a good day," and then leave. What are you asking? Have a good day? How? Yes, we say have a good day, but we never ask or we never understand as to how. How do we snap out of it? Simple 3-step process. And this is nothing new that I am stating. In various instances, I have already stated it. When I start saying it, I say, "Oh, that method. I have heard it, but I haven't applied it yet." The first method to be applied when we are tossed around by our own emotions, of triggered because of various happenings in our life. The first method is, which have to be applied one after the other. As soon as you observe that there is turbulent or restless patterns that are developing, don't try stopping it. Don't try bottling it. But instead, try focusing on your breathing. Don't evaluate. Don't analyze. Don't try to ascertain at that moment. That is not the right time and environment to do those things. You're still under that impact. Under that impact, you will not be in a right frame of mind to understand, evaluate, and execute. So at that point, the best thing that you can do is stop evaluating. Stop your judgment. Stop analyzing it. Instead, focus on your breath. You will observe that your breathing is fast and shallow. Regulate it to slow and deep breaths. If need be, talk to yourself. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Don't do it loudly. पागल समझेंगे. But breathe. Breathe in and out as gentle and as slow, but deep inhalation and exhalation. Then, whatever be the in a mantra or your Ishtadeva name, if you don't have a Ishtadeva or mantra, what do we say when we meet each other here in Chinmay Mission, meet or greet? Repeat that. Hari Om. Because Hari Om can mean many things, right? I ask the kids when they're making a lot of noise, I say Hari Om, and then stop and I ask them, what did my Hari Om mean? Now I have brought them up to my speed. SHUTUP. Because they know the tone of that Hari Om means stop talking. As soon as you see someone, when you say Hari Om, it is good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. And when we are leaving, when we say Hari Om, what does it mean? Goodbye. So that Hari Om, repeat it. Hari Om, Hari Om. Consciously chant it at least 21 times. Don't try to rush through this. Because it has been said 21, Hari Om, 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 Hari Om. Ho gaya. Or what next? No. Slow down. You are not in a marathon. It is not, the purpose is not to complete and finish 21 times. The purpose is to slow your mind, which is agitated, and divert all the energy into something meaningful. After 21 times, just close your eyes for a couple of minutes. Sit quietly. At that point, even if there is an emotion passing by, do not evaluate its contents. It's a good thought, good emotion, bad thought, bad emotions, disturbing thought, agitating. No, don't evaluate it. Let it pass by. You sit calm. By then, you would have assured yourself to an environment or a platform of objective perspective. Now, once you reach that objective perspective, then start evaluating, analyzing, and assessing what you're going through. You are at a better framework of mindset to handle those situations. How is answered? So, Kayika, Vachika, Manasika tapas. Yoga yajnaha. Yoga yajnaha. There are those methods, and this can mean a couple of things. Two things that I'll share. One is those who dedicate their life in doing lot of yogasana and the 8 limbs of it practiced. How many rotis can you eat? Not a silly question, answer it seriously. How many rotis can you eat? Only roti and sabjis provided. I know, next question. Is it with rice or without rice? Is it with... कितने रोटियां खाओगे? Thank you. Can you eat directly the third roti? Because the point is, even if you count the third one and start eating, it becomes the first one, right? You get to the third one only in due course. Yes, Oma? How? Good one. Yeah, they'll hide the other two because they don't want to eat roti and dal. They'll hide it and then claim that yes, this is my third one. Oh, gee. Similarly, in Ashtanga Yoga, there are 8 limbs, 8 steps. And they follow these 8 steps meticulously. Does anybody know these 8 steps? Because we are only exposed to the third limb. Give her a good hand. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Dharana, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Without practicing Yama and Niyama, we dabble with Yoga, Asana and Pranayama. See, when somebody wants to be a doctor, they have to go through the pre-qualifiers. What are the pre-qualifiers? They have to go through the first 12 years and then go through the entrance exam and then 4 years, and after 4 years another 2 years, and then for the specialization another 2 or 3 years. Meaning by the time they become doctors, they are already buddhe. They are old. They are 30, 32. Swamiji, 30, 32 are not old, okay? You get the point. Half of their life is already done. Without these pre-qualifiers, if somebody comes onto your operation table and said, I have gone through the cutting process. What have you gone through the stitching process? You cannot do half jobs, right? You have to go through the entire process and learning it. Similarly, yoga is or what you call yoga is actually the asana. Asana is the third step. What are the prerequisites, the foundation on which the asana and pranayama will have any benefit? Is yama and niyama. Yama is all the external organs of perception action, keeping them under discipline. Oh, yes. How much you indulge, how much you interact with the world outside, eat or sleep, all these aspects of it are covered. They have to be modulated and bring in a balance in life. Niyama, the internal organs, antakarana, has to be balanced. Having thus balanced the internal and external, then you proceed with yogasana. Then you get into pranayama. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama. Pratyahara. Pratyahara, the ability to snap out, withdraw from any situation willfully. I'm not talking about escaping from life. When things are going haywire, without you getting impacted and lost in them, in that turmoil, the ability to withdraw and then handle it. Pratyahara. Dharana. Dharana, to have immense patience. Dhriti. Dharana. Then you are qualified for dhyana, and through dhyana, samadhi. This is yoga abhyasa. The other kinds of yoga are the karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga and dhyana yoga. So yoga yajnaha, so these are two different meanings that can be understood. Swadhyaya yajna, this is my favorite one. What is swadhyaya? Swa adhyayana. Self, swa. Adhyayana, study. Self-study. Now, self-study also has two interpretations. One, constantly, vigilantly equipping yourself, enriching yourself with constant study. Constant study of scriptures so that I can gain more clarity. This is one. Second one is, Swadhyaya also means to consciously observe and study every pattern that I express in life and interaction. How do I do what I do? What is the intention behind what I do? What are the actions and reactions that I go through when the responses come? How do I act? How do I react? How do I respond? A conscious evaluation of one's own self. Knowing clearly where I am going wrong, where I have to focus more, where is it that I can let go, where is it that I have to hold on. Swadhyaya Yajna. Jnana Yajna. Jnana Yajna, dedicating one's life in constant study. Sometimes what happens, there is an overload of study, and because of this overload of study, we create a self-inflicting situation of constipated living. You have studied so much, but applied nothing. So when they say Jnana Yajna, it is not just mere learning and learning and learning, but along with that Jnana, as you have been acquiring, ascertaining it with your own practical experience as to what that Jnana is pointing at. If somebody is a doctor and they have never gone into they have never done their job as a doctor, and if they say, I am also a qualified doctor, please try on somebody else, not on me. Isn't it? Sometimes, loving mothers, when they offer bhiksha with their enthusiasm, they say, Swamiji, this one specially for you. First time I have made. Hore Ram. You don't know what kind of danger it is. Oh, yo. 23 years of experience. Very quickly I realized. When somebody gives me like that, I tell them, you may think that it is surprise. But I don't want to land up in a shock. If you have not eaten and you have not seen the impact of it earlier than me, please don't offer. It is not just that you know, but you have to experience it yourself as well. Jnana Yajna. Yatayaha samshita vrataha. Various sadhus, various people who do sadhana, they do these different kinds of yajnas. We'll continue it next week. The 29th shloka. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.